So Jimmy Kimmel decided to try to persuade more people to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And the way he went about doing it was gathering health professionals, people who are certified medical doctors, people that have diplomas and many accolades that they've attained throughout their respective careers, to shame regular people for not getting the vaccine. Take a look at this video.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor, an actual medical doctor.
I've practiced medicine for 21 years.
I am a critical care nurse.
I've been a nurse for 16 years.
I spent 4 years in undergraduate school, then 4 years in medical school,
And then another 5 years as a resident in emergency medicine.
Look at all of my diplomas.
I worked a second job to put myself through nursing school.
I'm 53 now, and I won't have my student loans paid off till well after I retire.
I can name every organ in your body and tell you exactly what it does.
Did you know there are between 60 and 100,000 miles of blood vessels in the human body? I know that because I've studied human bodies.
Did you know the human body has 205 bones? Well, you're wrong. It's actually 206.
I did know that because I'm a doctor.
Did you know that eating raw ginger cures cancer? You did? Good, because it doesn't.
I've saved people's lives.
I've cracked open a chest and manually beat a human heart.
I've even delivered some babies in the back of cars.
Do you know how many people have shown me weird skin things at parties and asked me if they were dying?
Too many.
My life is spent trying to improve and save yours.
Oh, but you read something on Facebook?
Your friend from high school who sells jewelry, she posted it?
The one who's 53 and still builds dollhouses?
You heard what? On whose podcast?
Is he a doctor? No. Scientist? No.
Can he name one of the ingredients in the vaccine?
Can he point to his gabella?
Then tell him to shut the up. The Bordello's right here, by the way.
Remember that polio shot we gave your kid? And then your kid not getting polio? Well, those two things are related.
How about this? You do your job, I'll do mine.
Get the vaccine.
Get the vaccine.
Just get the vaccine. Roll the up and get the vaccine.
And tell your friend on Facebook to stick to jewelry.
Is crazy to me. I get that people are skeptical of politicians or celebrities telling them what to do, but we should listen to doctors. These are men and women who've been on the front lines of this thing, risking their lives to save ours, and they're frustrated, and who could blame them? If we don't get more people vaccinated, we could see new mutations of this virus and go through this all over again.
Get the vaccine.
Get the vaccine.
Just get the vaccine. Roll the up and get the vaccine.
There's a societal responsibility that we should all have to put an end to this outbreak. And if you have a group of people who understandably may think that they're invulnerable because they're young and healthy and statistically the chances of their getting into trouble when they get vaccinated, therefore it doesn't make any difference. It isn't just you in a vacuum. You may inadvertently and innocently infect somebody else who will infect someone who really get in trouble. So you can't think about yourself in a vacuum. You have to think about somewhat of your societal responsibility. So that's really the frustrating part, Jimmy.
Okay, allow me to first start off by saying, if you want to persuade more people to get the COVID-19 vaccine, this is not the way to do it. Allow me to repeat, if you want more people to get vaccinated, This is not the way to go about doing it. In fact, this is the way to get more people not to do it. By yelling at them and berating them through a camera and saying, you should get the vaccine because we know more than you. We're smarter than you. We're actually doctors. I know how many bones are in the body. I can tell you what this organ does, whatever. Therefore, you should go get the vaccine. That's it. That's essentially what the argument was. That's it. Not once did they mention the efficacy rates of the vaccines. Not once did they mention that the people that get the vaccine, there's virtually no one that's been hospitalized for coronavirus after getting the vaccine. And the people that have gotten the virus, even after getting the vaccine, it's like having mild cold symptoms. It doesn't affect you the way that it would if you got the vaccine. Never do they state that even just getting one dose will make it to where that you're much less likely to get the vaccine, even if you don't get fully vaccinated. They didn't mention any of these facts. They didn't talk about any of that. It was just me. I'm certified. I have the credentials. I went through this many years of school, and therefore you should listen to me and whatever. And that's it. And go get vaccinated. I love how Jimmy says there at the end, he says, I understand people don't want politicians and celebrities telling them what to do. So I'm going to go get medical professionals to do that and still be completely high-minded about it. I mean, what did that change? I mean, it literally makes no sense whatsoever. And I love how he also brought in Dr. Fauci as if Dr. Fauci is this credible guy. I mean, Dr. Fauci, a lot of people think he's a fraud. I have my own opinions about him, and they're not very favorable. He's lost a lot of trust. I mean, he's blatantly lied. Remember when he told us that masks didn't work? And then, of course, they do work. But the reason that he told us that, and he admitted it himself, was that he was afraid that there would be a mask shortages and the people that really needed the masks wouldn't be able to get them. But all he had to do was tell us that. But he lied to us. And many of the people who are associated with him have lied to the public. And that gets to my next point. There is a vast sense of anger, fear, hostility that is radiating throughout the country. And it's been like that for some time now, and it only gets exacerbated as time goes by, it seems. The people of this country, or at least the vast majority of them, are feeling this rash irrationality where they are ever so increasingly in opposition to whatever the government says to do. And they have plenty of ground to stand on to be feeling the way that they feel when it comes to these sorts of issues. And this anger, this fear, this hostility, this hatred, it applies to pretty much every single issue there is virtually. People hate both political parties. Congress approval rating is constantly in single digits, if not the teens. It's always low. The ratings of our political leaders, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, you name them, are always low. People distrust politicians. They hate big corporations. They hate banks. They don't trust the scientists. And all of these are results caused by our government. And the people that they distrust and the people that they hate, they made it this way. And since they made it this way, their solution is to further berate the public and further shame them and tell them that they don't know anything, and therefore they should follow their orders and not raise any questions. Now look, what's my opinion on vaccinations? Go get vaccinated. Get yourself vaccinated. But this is not the way to get people to do that. I mean, when you have a government, when you have a system that has so often and so many times reneged on promises that they had promised would be given to, its population, its society, when they so often screw over regular people, working people, when there has been this redistribution of wealth, funneled to the top 1% at rates that we've never seen, causing mass wealth inequality. You wonder why when people that are seemingly well off, tell people that don't really have much to do something, why they're rebellious and why they don't want to do it. And it strikes me as incredibly dubious that, Jimmy Kimmel is this far disconnected from the public. And he doesn't see, you can tell these people, they don't know how to connect with average people. They don't know how to connect with the public and actually talk to them and get them to do the things that they want them to do, like get vaccinated. They go and get healthcare professionals to shame them. Just a quote that was said in the video, brought to you by people who are smarter than you. Yeah, that'll get people to go get vaccinated. Also, it broke my heart about the guy with the student loans. I mean, we got to do free college. We got to do free higher education. You know, he's 53 years old. He won't pay off his student debt until after he retires, well after. That's sad. That's completely sad. And he said it as if it was some grand accomplishment. No, that's sad, sir. 30% of people in this country are reluctant to get the vaccine. Half of adults have only gotten one shot and aren't seeking to get their second shot. I mean, it's a bad situation. There was also numerous articles that were published that talked about how the United States might not ever reach herd immunity, but that might not, be a big of a problem. It's not that simple. It's much more intricate than that. I don't really want to get into that in this video, but this was Jimmy Kimmel, I guess, trying to prod people to get the vaccine, but he did it in the worst way imaginable.